Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube, Diggy546, and this video was going to go out yesterday, but we got the news that Jackson Dart is going to be starting, but today is going to be about Cam Skattebo. I just want to go through most of his touches and some of his blocking reps and just show you what I'm seeing on tape, and you all can take from this what you will, make your own opinions about him, but I think overall he had a pretty good day. So this is going to be his first carry of the day. This is after Tyrone Tracy had a couple of nice runs to start things off, and he's going to start things off with the counter out of the shotgun here, and you're just going to see Russ hand it off to him, and everything else just kind of explains itself. This guy is a tackle breaker. Watch, and during this video too, you're going to see me sort of talk about some of the blocking that I'm seeing. Andrew Thomas, Andrew Thomas being added to this line, it changes life. It just changes life here. Andrew Thomas is driving guys off the ball. Manhurst is driving guys off the ball. I mean, Manhurst took this guy for a ride. And then you got a one-on-one here with the linebacker. Right into Nick Bolton right there. Puts Nick Bolton on his knees. Spins out of that. And actually gets the edge. I remember I was watching that like, oh man, stop running to the edge. But he actually got the edge there and picked up a first down. All right, so the Giants offensive line has had some issues blocking for the run on a consistent basis, and I'm seeing this a lot. Now, this is going to look a little bit different because Jackson Dart is going to be coming in, and they're probably going to be running a bunch of option stuff. I don't think Jackson Dart will be checking the ball down as much to Cam Skattebo, but the option will be there, and when we're not able to run the ball conventionally, we're going to have this option. So Skattebo is just going to leak out into the middle of the field, just right there, show yourself to the quarterback. Ball's right out. You can't get these 4-yard runs, 5-yard runs. You can throw these short passes to Cam Skattebo. He's going to bounce off of a guy. Second missed tackle Nick Bolton has right there and get 2 extra yards. All right, so this next play is, and I hope I haven't been saying Cam Skattebo. This next play is just going to be one of the plays that he could have done better on. There were a few of these, not that many, but there were a few where I felt that he sort of left some yards out there. So the play is designed to go this way, where the arrow's pointed. Cam Ward ends up sort of, and here I am saying Cam Ward. Okay, I'm catching myself. Cam Skattebo, or maybe I'll just say Scat so I don't keep saying Cam. I did so much film stuff on Cam Ward. But Cam Skattebo ends up cutting this back here. So because he ends up cutting this back, I think he leaves yards on the field here. So you get this initial penetration. Now, Illuminor here, the right tackle, leaves this defensive end unblocked. And he leaves him unblocked because he should not be running down the running back. And instead of Skattebo running behind where Andrew Thomas is, the all-pro left tackle, where I would be following him wherever he's going, I'm going. Instead of him running behind Andrew Thomas, he sort of sees that there's that penetration from the other side, and he tries to cut back to try to make this guy miss. And in college, you probably can do this. You can probably end up, pushing this guy off of you, spinning past this guy, and then you got a lot of space over here, a lot of space to run over here. But this isn't college. Follow your blockers here, and, you get about probably 3 or 4 yards. Who knows? Cam Skattebo breaks off of a lot of tackles, so you never know where this play will end up going. If he just runs behind these blockers here, you've got a lot of red jerseys here, or a lot of white jerseys here. But again, if he just stays straight here, just goes straight ahead, follows, and tries to sort of, sandwich himself in between one of these gaps here that are going to end up opening. Let's see what happens here. Nick Bolton's unblocked too. So yeah, if he just goes one-on-one with Nick Bolton right there and just drops his shoulder, he gets some yards. But because he ends up sort of cutting back here, he ends up losing a yard, and then he gets gang tackled there. So in this next play, we're going to see why I think Cam Skattebo is a really good running back, and he's going to be able to do a lot of great things in the NFL because he can fit through the most tiny gaps. He just does it naturally. And you're just going to watch here as these blocks are going to develop. Andrew Thomas and Theo Johnson are double teaming this defensive end here. Andrew Thomas is going to leak off of there. Or Theo Johnson, my bad, is going to leak off of there and get to this next level. And once you got hat on hat, everybody's got a body on a body right here. And Skattebo is just going to accelerate right through this gap. And watch how it starts to close here. Watch how it starts to close here. And he just slides right through, turns to the side, slides right through, protects the football. And again, decent run right here. You see the line of scrimmage is right here on this white line. This is the line of scrimmage. Just to kind of show you how many yards he got just from trusting himself. That's about a 7-yard run right there. All right, so this next play is really well blocked, and I love when Dable puts these two tight ends in the backfield. You usually get some really good run plays out of it. 84 is going to take Chris Jones, Theo Johnson. 82 is going to go get, I think that's Drew Tranquil right there. 61 has this D tackle right here, and so on and so on. So we're all going to get bodies on bodies. Illuminor is just kind of just slowing this guy down. Nothing huge right there. Just slow him down enough so the run can get going. And just watch Skattebo. Really great vision right there. Doesn't need excellent vision right here because the hole is really easy to see. Just follow where the play tells you to go. That same gap that Daniel Bellinger ends up sealing this guy off to the left. JMS doesn't do the best on this block, but good enough. And you got a positive run. You're getting up to the second and third level. And this happened a lot. He got to the second and third level very often. So really great job by the offensive line and the tight ends to get a hat on the hat, and really nice run designs this past game against the Chiefs. Now, we didn't have good pass designs, but we did have good run designs against the Chiefs. So this next play is just an example of Skattebo is just going to have to trust his line. Now, they've been blocking pretty poorly the first 2 weeks, but once he starts to trust the line, he'll be able to do a little bit better in these situations. So we're going to start it here, and you're going to get what looks like instant penetration from Nick Bolton. And instead of Skattebo trusting in JMS right there and running behind him and trusting him to seal off Nick Bolton, he doesn't trust it, and he cuts back and makes this tackle easy for Nick Bolton. He cuts right back into him. If he steadies and just runs through this gap, there's nobody here. He's one-on-one with the safety. So this is just trusting the offensive line, getting more reps with the offensive line, because again, he's not expecting that JMS is going to even make this block. He's thinking, he's a little bit late. He's not going to be able to get a hand on him. And unfortunately, he cuts right back into Nick Bolton. Because again, if he runs in between these two guys' shoulders, he's one-on-one with this safety. You got the other safety. Of course, he's going to have some pursuit from here. But for the most part, there's hats on hats everywhere. And this guy in the open field against DBs is a recipe for disaster for the defense. All right, so on this next play, I'm not sure if this is going to be a designed block and release or if this is just Skattebo just doing a really great job just improvising along with Russell Wilson. Either way, decent play from Cam Skattebo here. This is the play where he's going to start off pretty much blocking Nick Bolton. And what makes me think this is a block and release is because Skattebo isn't coming out here trying to destroy Nick Bolton. And it seems like he's just sort of lackadaisically blocking the guy. Russ steps up here, and he's ready to catch the ball. So it does make me think it's a block and release here, because Skattebo usually likes to just throw the kitchen sink at these linebackers and defensive ends. So I'm guessing this is design block and release, and this is just a nice job improvising by Russ here, and a nice job him being heads up, catching it, getting upfield, getting all the yards he can. All right, so in this next play, I think this had a really, really good chance to be a big play. You're going to see John Runyon right here. He's going to get held by Chris Jones, and this is something that doesn't get called often, but definitely does happen. He's going to get held as he tries to get off of blocking Chris Jones. And because of that, this play ends up getting shut down. The flag did get thrown, though. So 76 here. You're going to see this double team here from him and Andrew Thomas, and he tries to break off to get to Nick Bolton, and he gets tugged right there. So Nick Bolton's unblocked. If he's able to get there and get a hand on Nick Bolton, this cutback is going to be crazy. he's going to be able to get straight up field and at the very least drop his head and get some yards. If not, he may even be able to fit through this gap and be one-on-one with the safety there. But he gets held, and this ends up being an unsuccessful play, but we did get a flag out of it. All right, in my opinion, another really nice design run from Mike Kafka or whoever designed it. Maybe Dale designed it, Kafka designed it, but you get a double team right here, double team right here, running duo right here. So you get 2 double teams on both defensive tackles, and they're going to pull Daniel Bellinger because they know they'll get a free man there. So it goes perfectly. You get 2 doubles, and then again, you got a free man coming. So Bellinger comes and cleans that up. And what do you have here? You have a nice hole, but you're not thinking that this is going to be a touchdown. And Cam is going to cut this back and house it. Again, this guy is able to see things almost before they happen as far as his vision. Just watch how he's just in this tight space, able to cut this back around Runyon. See, he put his hand right there, kind of helped with the block, put his hand on Runyon's back, got out of the way there. Runyon hits the turf, and he gets into the end zone. All right, so this next play, this is just an example of him having to learn what league he's in. Also, there's no Andrew Thomas in the game anymore. But this is just him just learning, like, this isn't Arizona State. This is the NFL, and I cannot just get the edge against these guys as I can in college. So you're going to see him take the handoff here. This is blocked up pretty well, and he's doing a little bit too much dancing. I know the feet right there are clogged up, but I need him, with as much awareness as he can. Whenever you get a hole this big in the NFL, take it. If you want to cut this back after you get past this line of scrimmage and make this guy miss, fine. But the number one thing is you got a wide open hole right there to run through, and he just doesn't take it right there. He tries to get greedy, cut it outside because he sees that this guy's there. You already got this guy basically scared to tackle you from what he's seen that you do to other people. So just run through this hole, run through this guy. He might not even want to wrap you up. You might just run right by him. And then again, one-on-one with this safety, and this safety's coming to help. But, if you're getting to the third level, that's a great run. This is blocked up very well. To get Skattebo one-on-one with any player, let alone a corner here, is exactly what you want. I know he notices that the corner is jumping inside, so he's like, let me get outside. But guess what? The pursuit in the NFL is built different. The pursuit in the NFL is built different, and you're not going to be able to get the edge there. And I don't know what Wandale is doing. Turn around, find somebody to block. I mean, you're running backwards to find this guy. Like, I can't even be too mad at Skattebo. I do think he should have taken this wide open hole. But at the same time, it's like, Wandale, go block somebody, man. like turn around and try to get on the safety, Wandale, because you running after him to go turns upfield and seals this guy off, just like runs into him, like puts a hand on him. Then Skattebo is probably able to turn upfield on the outside and at least get upfield. And, maybe this other guy who's trailing ends up catching up, but he gets more yards than he ends up getting here. So, I mean, initial bad decision right here to not just get upfield, and then just a bad play awareness-wise from Wandale Robinson to just be looking around right here. Turn around, pick up the safety, man. Like, that there's a safety behind you. There's a safety right there. All right, so this next play is nothing too serious. You just already start to see guys making business decisions right here. Scat is going to catch this ball right here, turn upfield. He's one-on-one, and he's dropping his shoulder, puts his helmet in this dude's chest, and he's just going to back out of this and say, like, dude, I'm not engaging with that. You want to drop your shoulder, I'm just going to let you fall in the turf, but you're not running me over like that. Again, one thing I love about Cam Skattebo is his vision, and you're just going to see him just slowly follow his blockers and then be decisive and get straight up field. So self-explanatory stuff right here. This is Dart reading this outside backer right here. Let's just see who he's reading. We're going to let this play. Going to look at where Dart's head is. Looks like he's reading this outside backer right there. He's staying. So he's handing this off. And again, I mean, this is some pretty nice design plays right here in the run game. And you're getting a lot of crisscrossing right here. You're getting Theo Johnson going to go get the edge right there in case Dart did keep it. But essentially, you have these two pullers. You got Marcus Bowe. You got John Runyon, left guard and the right tackle, and the left tackle going to go pull. Runyon is going to go get 97. Bowe goes and gets the linebacker. And then he gets upfield. Again, like running back, a lot of playing running back is not necessarily how fast you are. It's when you decide to use the speed and when you decide not to. So take a look right here. He can easily just outrun this, and he's going to get about 2 or 3 yards. He can easily just outrun his blockers right here. He can try to take this out here like a lot of young running backs might do and just try to outrun both of the pullers and just say, like, you know, I'm not waiting for this. I'm just going to try to get out to the edge. And I promise you, this linebacker is going to run that down. But instead, he waits a little bit, lets this get set up, and then accelerates. So this next play for me was my favorite play of the game from Skattebo, and this probably was some of you all's favorite plays today too. But the way Scat gets to Charles Omenihu right here on this play and just levels him, just hits him right. I mean, hopefully, I don't know what the injury report is looking like. Hopefully he didn't break this dude's ribs, but just take a look at this block right here. 44 right here on the left defensive end, right here on this edge player. Boom! He's trying to get upfield here to get the edge, work the edge on Bowe, and Scat just levels the dude in the ribs right there. And you're just going to see him drop, and he ended up staying on the ground after that. But, I mean, the hit right here, it really hurt the dude. And that's what you want out of your running backs here. If your running back can have these edge players basically scared to take the edge, you know how much that helps the tackle right there? Because look at how Bowe gets beat on the inside. Bowe gets beat. He misses the punch. He's off balance. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because Scat just put his shoulder pad in his helmet, his shoulder pad mostly, right in this guy's chest. Looked like he might have knocked the wind out of him or something. But again, Bowe misses the block, but it doesn't matter. Again, this is some more benefit to having a guy that is first off this short, this actually pretty small of a back, but not small at the same time, but a guy that can fit through a lot of these gaps. You're just going to see him take this handoff and just fit through a really tiny hole here that's going to open up right here. He's going to take this outside and then notices that this is breaking down. So he cuts back through 2 offensive linemen, basically jumps through that hole and picks up six more yards after that. And that's just like all vision right there. This is a lot of things that you used to see like Frank Gore, Ezekiel Elliott in tight spaces. Those guys that just, it looks like there's not much there. And then they just stick that foot in the ground, get upfield, get through the tiniest of holes, and pick up 5, 6, 7 more yards. So, of course, this is the freeze frame I'm going to stop it at. This dude completely obliterated the defensive end on this play. And I love to see it because they said that's something he needed to work on coming out of college, and he has worked on it. He's been finding the right person to find and pick up on these blitzes, and he's been doing an amazing job delivering these hits because, again, you want to slow down that rush. If they're worried about getting hit in the chest, taking the edge, that second hesitation is enough for your quarterback to have some extra time. But Skattebo obviously had a nice day through the air, nice day on the ground, and it all just highlighted that he's really great after the catch, really great when he gets in an open space. And I think they're going to continue to get him the football in the screen game, in the dump offs, of course, running the ball. Now he's going to get more and more touches because Tracy's out. Tracy was having a nice start to this last game, but with that dislocated shoulder, he's probably going to be out for a little while. So it's going to be Skattebo and Singletary. And I don't think Singletary is going to get the equal amount of touches or carries as Skattebo. I think this is basically going to be Skattebo as a lead back, Singletary as a guy that gets maybe 5 to 6 touches a game. And then maybe you'll have Turbo that might get, one screen or one toss or something like that. They're mostly probably going to be a special teamer. So that's what you're looking like as far as running backs goes now that Tracy is out. But I think we're in great hands as long as Cam Skattebo is healthy. This dude runs with a lot of heart. He blocks with a lot of heart. And hopefully this career can end up being a nice lengthy career, because he does a lot of just aggression and violence. He's just into a lot of violence and aggression on the field. And hopefully he can have a long career, get a second contract and all that. But always fun watching this dude play. I can't wait to see him this week, especially with Dart in the backfield and them running the option. Can't wait to take a look at that on tape. But you all let me know what you think of Skattebo's first real game. First game over 100 scrimmage yards, second touchdown of the season.